You guys can see here with the articulation. Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and today we're going to be doing an off-road review with the all-new GMC Sierra AT4X. Before we get into the video though, as always, if you want to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below, and let's get right into the off-roading. Okay, so we are starting off here with the AT4X. I've got the front camera on, and this is actually take two. The first time I just completely messed up the whole movement, so we are attempting to do this again. There we go. So we're on 3 wheels now, jiggling quite a bit. My AT4X don't jiggle, it folds. Haha, get it? Okay, I'm done with the memes. Ooh. This is getting pretty gnarly. Should be back on the ground though now. Sorry that I took that slower than normal. Just wanted to make sure I didn't plow with the front end because the approach angle on this is not fantastic. But there we go. To the camera footage on that last one, and oh boy, did my back tire go pretty high up in the air. Now this is gonna test approach angle, which is not great again with the AT4X. It has great ground clearance, but approach angle is not the best. Managed to get through though. I didn't hear any scraping or anything. Now this is, again, 4-wheel auto. I'll put it in 4-wheel high or 4-wheel low if I need it. It's slipping a little bit. But yeah, pretty solid. Okay, so for this test, I have the truck in 2-wheel drive. This is supposed to test tire grip and slightly with articulation. And so if a vehicle's got good off-road tires and decent articulation, it should be able to make it out without a struggle, which, yeah, I'd say that was pretty solid. Still the truck in 2-wheel drive. I'm gonna see how far I can get on this trail without having to go into 4-wheel drive, the initial part. Now something I'm actually pretty impressed with so far is the fact that I haven't bottomed out anything with this truck. Again, it's not known to have the best approach angle. Let's make sure. Yeah, I'm in 2-wheel drive. I had to make sure there for a second. Oh, there we go. A little bit slipping. Huh. It's even in 2-wheel drive, it seems like it's sending power. I've got traction control, everything off. It seems like it's sending power to whatever tire's getting grip, and wow, that's actually super impressive. Good job, GM. Wow. So I have it still in 2-wheel drive. Why don't you let me use the camera? What the heck? There we go. Still have it in 2-wheel drive. This is definitely going to defeat it. Like, I'm going to have to put in 4-wheel drive here. Yep, there we go. So, gonna back up a little bit. Let's try 4-wheel auto. See if that works first. If that doesn't work, then we will try 4-wheel high. Again, I don't want to spend too much time on this obstacle. I'd rather spend more time on more exciting stuff rather than just a steep hill. You can hear the system working there with the brakes, trying to send power to the wheel that is getting traction. Oh, come on. I hate it when cameras like this pop off, especially when you have a giant hood like this where you can't see over it. Pretty good. See how things are going back down though. Back down, I'm going to put it in the manual mode. I'm not going to use any hill descent control or anything like that. Just going to use Ben Hardy tactics. Now I'm pretty sure these tires are going to be fine. You can hear a little bit slipping there, a little bit more there. Overall though, pretty good. It's pretty easy for me to keep control overall. So, job well done, AT4X. Well, this is the moment that we have all been waiting for, and that's high speed off-roading. Still in 4-wheel auto. And it's now 106 degrees. So we are seriously giving this truck a torture test if I've ever seen one. Just going miles and miles off-road in the heat. Now, here's the deal. Is this, you know, Ford Raptor, Ram TRX levels of high-speed capability? And the answer is no. Those trucks have a much wider track and they have much wider tires, which help out substantially when it comes to corner and grip and confidence with the truck at higher speeds. That being said though, this is way better than a regular pickup truck, and it's way better than an entry-level off-road pickup truck like the Trail Boss or like the AT4. That's where I'm actually feeling the difference between this and a regular AT4 is this gets a little bit more absorption with those Multimatic shocks, which helps out with high-speed compression, and so it makes me feel just a little bit more confident. Now that being said though, a deficit with this truck again is the axle ratio. The 6.2 V8 is plenty powerful enough, but it just doesn't punch all that hard out of corners because it's like optimizing for fuel economy with the transmission, and on top of that, right, it's not gonna bite at low speeds like you'll get with a more aggressive axle ratio. So overall, I mean, it does great. In a vacuum, I mean, really comfortable. Again, I'm still getting a massage. I am getting a massage right now while we are bombing down these desert trails. But yeah, once you compare it to the, and again, it's not in the same segment as those vehicles. It's less expensive and all that. But when you compare it to those vehicles, definitely, and I'm just gonna try to avoid this, definitely can feel the deficit with this truck. Okay, so we are doing our rock crawl obstacle here with the AT4X, and just getting up to the obstacle is its own obstacle, funny enough. But anyways, I'm just gonna keep it in 4-wheel auto, and I'm gonna see if the 4-wheel drive system can just figure this out, basically. Getting up this little thing. Come on. Yeah, I'm figuring it out. Okay, I'm gonna have to 2-pedal drive now. Come on. There we go. Took a second for the system to figure out where it was going to send power, but once it figured it out, well, figured it out. Okay, so I've got the truck in the terrain mode in 4-wheel low. Now this is my first rock crawling obstacle. Breakover angle might be an issue with this truck. We will see. Sorry if it looks like I'm taking it faster than normal, but I happen to need to be somewhere now, I realized. So I've got to get this off-road review done. Okay. Like I said, breakover angle might be an issue, so we're gonna take it slow here. Just listen. Transitioning pretty solidly. Did not bottom out. Impressive, GMC. Quite impressive. Okay, so sorry about the audio here because the microphone's not faced towards my mouth, but anyways, you guys can see here with the articulation, and then look at those Multimatic shocks as well. Now, I wasn't able to get nearly as high up onto the rock with this as I was with the TRX, so, you know what, it squishes pretty well, but yeah, it's definitely not on the same level as that, but pretty solid for, you know, a stock truck. We're getting to the next obstacle here, which just getting down into this obstacle again is pretty difficult. Again, I'm having to rely on this camera a lot during this review. I am into that tree a little bit more than I wanted to be. Eep! It's not a good sound. This definitely tests approach angle. It's doing a pretty good job though, frankly. I'm not getting a massage anymore. That's really important. I need to get a massage. Honestly, this truck's pretty easy to off-road, and so I'm able to focus on more important things. Oh, is it gonna get through it? Wow. So I didn't have to use the locker at all. Come on. Ooh. I thought this had 1-pedal drive. It started rolling back. I guess it doesn't have 1-pedal drive. Oh my gosh. So the stability control's getting it up. You know what? Let's just do the locker just for fun. Okay, engaged. Let's see if that makes it smoother. Oh yeah. Look at that. Look at that. So the traction control system definitely could have gotten us up, but engaging that locker We're gonna take that out now. Engaging that locker definitely just made it easier, basically. Okay, so on this one, I want to show you guys two different camera views on the outside. One of them is getting into the obstacle, and then the other one's going to be going up the obstacle. Now, the reason I'm showing you guys me going into the obstacle is this is where last week I scraped the TRX exhaust tips, and so I want to see if the high ground clearance exhaust tips on this AT4X are actually worth it, right? Are we going to squish more exhaust tips, or am I going to be able to make it through without being mean to the bumper? Just going very slow here. Parking sensors are freaking out. That's how you know you're on some stuff. I'm not hearing any scraping. Oh. Ooh. Let's quickly see. Let's see where we're at. Sorry about the wind noise in advance. So, guess what? GM, you did an amazing job here. So you guys can see, receiver hitch is scraping down the bottom, but no exhaust tips. Good freaking job, General Motors. Goodbye, receiver hitch. Just kidding. Okay, there's the first part. Now going up the rest of the obstacle, honestly, it should be smooth sailing from here on out. I don't think the truck is going to struggle to make it up this. Famous last words. Just taking it nice and slow. Getting a little bit tippy to the side there. Okay, gonna go a little bit more here to the side so I don't dip into that. No scraping. Pretty cool. So let's just give my summarizing thoughts here on the AT4X as an off-road machine, and it's kind of a mixed bag. So first off, coming into this review, honestly, I came in with a pretty critical viewpoint on the truck because, again, it has less ground clearance compared to its sibling vehicle, the ZR2, worse angles with everything, especially when it comes to the approach angle, and smaller tires. And so I'm like, yeah, this thing is just not going to be all that great off-road, because I took a ZR2 off-road and I'm like, you know, I was impressed with the ZR2, but I wasn't like blown out of the water with the ZR2. But you know, getting some time with this off-road has kind of changed my mentality on both of the trucks. I think I've changed my mind here on the AT4X. This is actually a pretty impressive truck from an off-road perspective. So first off, let's start high speed and then we'll go to low speed. So in terms of the high speed off-roading, no, it doesn't have the stability of a Raptor or a TRX, but damping is very solid. The V8 definitely helps fill the gap with the fact that this doesn't have a crazy aggressive axle ratio. And yeah, you know, overall it's a great vehicle from a high speed perspective. Like this is kind of like middle speed. It handles it very well. You know, it's definitely a bumpy ride. Again, I don't have the tires aired down. If I aired these down, that would help out quite a bit. But you still don't have like a crazy amount of sidewall because these are only 32.5s. So that is a slight limiting factor on the truck. Now, I'm sure that aftermarket companies will figure out how to fit 35s on this in the future, and that will definitely just make the driving experience with this so much better. In terms of the slow speed stuff, so like the rock crawling, that's kind of what this truck seems to be aimed at, oddly enough, because again, you've got the front and the rear lockers, and you've got like the one pedal drive, you've got the terrain mode, and here's the deal is it does a phenomenal job. Now, obviously I didn't really have to use the lockers in today's video. Now, does that mean that my off-road course sucks? No. Here's the deal is modern four-wheel drive systems are so good that it's not like lockers are not needed anymore, but in situations in the past where you would have needed a locker, the four-wheel drive system can pretty much handle it. Still, I'd have to say, after driving both trucks off-road, I prefer the ZR2, and I think that that's kind of what GM was intending by kind of neutering this in terms of the off-road capability. But let me know which truck you guys would pick out of the two and what you think about this after seeing it go through the Ben Hardy off-road course. I'm super impressed because this was able to crawl up several obstacles better than the Ford Raptor and the Ram TRX, frankly. So it actually seems like this is slightly better at crawling than both of those trucks. See you guys.